Have you ever noticed how life seems to send you messages when you're most in need of them? Almost as if something unseen is trying to reach you. Carl Jung once spoke of synchronicity, those meaningful coincidences that are far too precise to be random. He believed they were signs from the deeper layers of the psyche, guiding us toward truth, purpose, and transformation. What Jung called synchronicity, many describe as the gentle whispers of a guardian angel. Subtle signals meant to remind you that you are not walking this path alone. Your guardian angel wants you to know something today, something that speaks directly to the struggles you've been carrying in silence. Life has not abandoned you. Every delay, every heartbreak, every closed door has been shaping you, guiding you, preparing you for what lies ahead. And if you listen closely, not with fear, but with openness, you'll realize that the very signs you've been ignoring are actually invitations to step into alignment with your true path. There are moments in life when the silence around you feels heavy, when it seems as though no one truly sees what you are carrying, and even the people closest to you cannot step into the depths of what you feel. In those moments, you may convince yourself that you are completely alone, abandoned in a world that appears indifferent to your struggles. Yet, what you do not always recognize is that solitude is not emptiness. Even in the silence, a presence walks beside you. There is something watching over you, moving with you, and holding you when you cannot hold yourself. Your guardian angel does not need to announce itself in grand displays, because it has been there all along, woven into the unseen fabric of your existence. When the weight of your burdens becomes too much, when you cry quietly into the night, where no one else can hear, there is a witness who never turns away. That invisible companion gathers your tears, not as wasted sorrow, but as sacred proof of your endurance. And though you may think no one notices your pain, you are wrong, because the unseen always notices. That is why you are still here despite everything you thought would break you. Something has been sustaining you beyond your own strength, carrying you across bridges you didn't even realize were collapsing beneath your feet. It is a strange paradox of life that the loneliest seasons are often the ones most filled with invisible guidance. You may look back at times when you should not have made it, when everything pointed toward defeat, and yet somehow you emerged stronger, wiser, and even more alive. That was not luck. That was not coincidence. That was the quiet presence of your guardian angel, standing with you in battles that no one else knew you were fighting. Think about the moments when you felt a sudden calm, even after hours of despair. Think about the gentle nudge that whispered, "Keep going," when you were ready to give up. Think about the stranger who appeared at the exact right time, the friend who called out of nowhere, the unexpected light that broke into your darkest day. These were not accidents. These were reminders that you are not wandering through this life unprotected. Your angel does not need to shout because it is always near. It works in subtle ways, not to control your path, but to remind you that you are never walking it alone. It is why you still find the courage to rise every morning, even when yesterday left you exhausted. It is why a spark of hope never completely dies inside you, no matter how many storms you endure. That spark is evidence of a greater hand holding yours, guiding you through the uncertainty. So when the world tells you that you are forgotten, when loneliness convinces you that you are invisible, remember that what is invisible is often the most powerful. Just because you cannot see your guardian angel does not mean it is not there. The air you breathe is invisible too, yet without it, you would not survive. In the same way, your angel sustains you quietly, faithfully, and without needing recognition. There will always be times when you doubt, when you wonder why you feel abandoned if such a presence truly exists. But understand this, you are not meant to always feel it, because faith is not born in certainty. It is born in trust. Your angel is not here to erase the struggles, but to make sure the struggles do not erase you. That is why you have endured things you once thought would be the end. That is why you are still standing when so much tried to bring you down. And perhaps the most beautiful truth is this: even in your loneliest nights, you have never truly been alone. The silence you thought was emptiness was actually a sacred companionship. The quiet presence you could not name was the very thing keeping you alive. The arms that lifted you when you collapsed were not your own. And if you pause, even for a moment, you will feel it, not outside of you, but within you, woven into the very fabric of your being. You are never truly alone. There are times when you stand before a closed door, knocking with all the strength you have, begging for it to open, believing that what lies behind it is the answer to your prayers. You push, you wait, you plead, and yet nothing moves. The silence that follows can feel like rejection, as if life has turned its back on you, as if you are not worthy of receiving what you asked for. But what if that silence is not punishment? What if the very delay that frustrates you is the protection that saves you? What if the unanswered prayer is not a denial, but a redirection towards something far greater than you can imagine? So often, we misinterpret timing. We assume that if we do not have it now, it means it will never be ours. Yet delay is not absence, and waiting is not failure. The universe has a rhythm of its own, and your guardian angel understands this rhythm better than you ever could. It sees the path ahead with clarity you cannot yet access, and sometimes it holds you back, not because you are undeserving, but because what waits for you requires a stronger, wiser, more prepared version of yourself. Think about the moments in your past when something did not work out the way you desperately wanted it to. At the time, you may have felt broken, even betrayed, by the way events unfolded. But later, with distance, you saw it differently. You realized that if you had been given what you wanted then, it would have harmed you, limited you, or even destroyed you. The relationship that ended, the opportunity that fell apart, the dream that collapsed. It felt like loss, but in truth, it was a form of divine protection. Something was being kept from you because something better was waiting for you. Your guardian angel does not measure life by your impatience. It measures by alignment, by right timing, by unseen connections that must come together for the story to unfold as it should. That is why some doors close, even when you are ready to run through them. Not because you are unworthy, but because the timing would have hurt more than it helped. A fruit picked before it ripens will never taste as sweet, and a blessing received too soon can become a burden instead of a gift. It takes trust to accept this. It takes humility to surrender to delays without bitterness. But your guardian angel wants you to know that the obstacles in front of you are not punishments. They are shields. They are protecting you from roads that would have led you into pain you do not need to experience, from choices that would have stolen your peace, from people who would not have valued your soul. The delay is not the end of your path. It is a redirection towards something better than what you thought you needed. And if you listen carefully, you may even notice the subtle ways life nudges you when it withholds. The rejection letter that closed one opportunity was actually freeing you for the one that aligned with your deeper calling. The friendship that ended was clearing space for one that would love you in truth. The failure that knocked you down was shaping resilience you could not have built any other way. Your angel whispers through these delays, saying, "Not here. Not yet. Not this way." And though it hurts to wait, it hurts far less than what you would endure if you rushed into what was never meant for you. You are being guided, even when you do not understand it. Every delay, every detour, every closed door carries purpose, even if that purpose is invisible in the moment. You will look back one day and see that the very things you thought were obstacles were actually guardians, keeping you safe until the right time, the right place, and the right people arrived in your life. So instead of fighting the silence, trust the stillness. Instead of resenting the delay, honor it. Because delay is not denial, and protection often feels like disappointment until you see what it saved you from. Your guardian angel is not punishing you by holding back. It is saving you for something that matches the depth of your spirit. The delays are not against you, they are for you. There is a kind of wisdom that can only be born out of pain. As much as we may try to avoid it, as much as we wish life could unfold without the heartbreaks, the losses, and the disappointments, the truth is that our deepest growth often rises out of our deepest wounds. Your guardian angel wants you to understand that the moments that broke you were not without meaning. Every tear, every sleepless night, every ache in your chest carried a message, a lesson, a hidden gift that could not have been given to you in any other way. When you look back at the struggles you've endured, you may still feel the sting of what happened, but you can also sense the ways it shaped you. Pain forces you to stop running from yourself. It strips away illusions and reveals truths you might have ignored when life was comfortable. It humbles the ego, it softens the heart, and it strengthens the spirit. It reminds you of what truly matters. What once felt like a wound becomes the soil in which your transformation takes root. Think of the heartbreak that shattered your trust. At first, it felt like betrayal had stolen something irreplaceable from you. But slowly, as the days turned into months, you realized that what was taken was not meant to stay. You began to see how that pain pushed you to draw boundaries, to honor your worth, to no longer settle for what diminished you. The heartbreak was a teacher in disguise, and your guardian angel was beside you the entire time, guiding you not toward despair, but toward awakening. Think also of the moments of loss, when you were left standing in the aftermath of something you thought you could not live without. In that emptiness, you felt as though life had abandoned you. Yet what seemed like the end was actually the beginning of a new kind of strength. Your guardian angel wants you to know that grief itself has power. It stretches the soul, teaching compassion, patience, and resilience. Loss can never be erased, but it becomes a source of wisdom that allows you to comfort others, to stand as living proof that healing is possible, and to carry a depth of empathy you never had before. Even failure, the kind that humiliates you and makes you question your abilities, carries hidden guidance. The closed doors and missed chances may sting, but failure redirects you toward paths that fit your purpose more truthfully. Your angel does not see failure as the end, but as a recalibration. Every mistake teaches you more than success ever could. Every fall strengthens your ability to rise again. Pain becomes a compass, pointing you back to the parts of yourself that need to be reclaimed. Your angel wants you to stop seeing your pain as wasted. It is not punishment, nor is it evidence that you are forgotten. Pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to awaken you. Without it, you would remain unchanged, clinging to the old, avoiding the truth, and resisting growth. With it, you are sculpted into someone wiser, stronger, more capable of carrying the blessings that are on their way to you. The very fire that burned you is also the fire that purified you. And though you may not recognize it in the moment, there is always guidance hidden within the suffering. That sudden insight that arrived in the middle of your tears, that new perspective that shifted the way you saw your life, that quiet inner strength that surfaced when you thought you had none left. These were not accidents. These were the whispers of your guardian angel, turning your pain into direction, turning your wounds into wisdom. The struggles you face are not meant to harden you, but to reveal your capacity for resilience and compassion. Pain deepens you, and in that depth, you discover who you truly are. One day you will look back at what you endured, and though you may never call it easy, you will recognize it as necessary. You will see that your greatest wounds carried the very instructions for your becoming. Your pain holds hidden guidance. Life rarely speaks in shouts. More often, it speaks in whispers, in gentle nudges that are easy to overlook. If you are too busy searching for something loud and obvious, your guardian angel does not often arrive in blazing light or dramatic signs, because its language is more subtle, more quiet, more aligned with the rhythm of the soul than the noise of the world. It does not force itself upon you. It simply places hints, patterns, and synchronicities in your path, waiting for you to notice them. The truth is, guidance is always around you. You just have to learn how to listen differently. Think of the times you have seen the same numbers repeating on clocks, receipts, or signs. To some, it may seem like coincidence, but to those who are willing to look deeper, it feels like a message. A reminder that you are aligned with something greater, that you are not navigating this life blind. Or recall the moments when a thought comes to you out of nowhere, telling you to take a different road, call a certain person, or pause before making a decision. At first, you may dismiss it as imagination, but later you realize that following that nudge saved you from harm or led you to exactly where you needed to be. These are not accidents. These are quiet signals from your guardian angel, guiding you in ways that logic alone cannot explain. Your angel works through dreams as well, placing images and symbols in your sleep that reflect truths you may be ignoring when awake. A conversation with someone long gone, a journey down an unfamiliar path, a vision that feels more real than any dream should. These are not random creations of the mind, but messengers of meaning. If you learn to pay attention, to write them down, to reflect on their patterns, you begin to notice that the dream world is often where your soul is most open to hearing what your angel has been trying to say. And then there are the so-called coincidences. Running into someone you were just thinking about, hearing a phrase from a stranger that directly answers a question you were holding in your heart, discovering a book or song that speaks to exactly what you are going through. It can be tempting to call these accidents, but your angel wants you to know that nothing meaningful is ever random. The universe weaves connections with precision, placing the right people, words, and moments in front of you at exactly the right time. Your role is not to force it, but to recognize it when it arrives. The challenge is that many of us are so distracted, so consumed by noise and business, that we miss these subtle signals. We want grand revelations, lightning bolts of certainty, undeniable proof. But that is not how the unseen world works. Guidance is quiet because quiet requires attention. When you slow down, when you breathe, when you create moments of stillness in your life, you begin to notice what has always been there. The song that stirs something in your chest, the feeling you get when you walk into a room, the instinct that tells you to wait or to move. All of these are the ways your angel speaks. You may doubt yourself, thinking it is only your imagination. But what is imagination, if not the language of the unseen speaking through you? That gentle voice within, the one that feels different from fear and different from ego, is not random. It is the presence of your guardian angel reminding you that you are guided, even when you cannot see the full picture. The more you trust it, the clearer it becomes. Learning to listen is not about searching harder, but about softening. It is about becoming present enough to notice the details you once ignored. You begin to see the repetition in the numbers, the patterns in your encounters, the wisdom in your dreams, the nudges in your intuition. And the more you acknowledge these signs, the more they appear. It is as though your angel is saying, "You are paying attention now. Let me show you more." What you once thought was coincidence, you will begin to recognize as guidance. What you once dismissed as random, you will begin to see as intentional. And in this awareness, you will realize that you have never been wandering blindly. You have always been led gently and faithfully, step by step. Trust the subtle signs. One of the hardest truths to accept in life is that we are not in control the way we think we are. We plan, we push, we cling, believing that if we just try harder, force our way, or hold on tightly enough, things will bend to our will. And when they don't, we feel frustrated, abandoned, even punished. But your guardian angel wants you to understand that life is not meant to be controlled. It is meant to be trusted. There is a greater plan unfolding, one that sees further than you can see and knows more than you could ever know. Surrender is not about giving up. It is about finally allowing yourself to align with what has always been meant for you. Think about how many times in your past You tried to force something to work. You begged for a relationship to last, even though deep down you felt it was not right for you. You pushed for a path that drained you, convincing yourself it was what you were supposed to do. You clung to people, places, and versions of yourself that were already fading. And yet, no matter how hard you tried, those things slipped away. At the time it may have felt like life was against you, but in truth, life was for you. Your angel was guiding you away from what would harm you, even when you could not see it. Surrendering does not mean you stop caring, or that you stop moving forward. It means you stop resisting what is already trying to unfold. It means you release the grip of control and trust that where you are being led is where you are meant to be. The more you fight against this, the more exhausted you become, because you are swimming against a current that is carrying you toward your destiny. Your angel wants you to know that peace comes not from controlling, but from allowing. There is freedom in letting go. The moment you stop demanding that life unfold according to your limited vision, you make space for the greater vision to reveal itself. You may not understand the timing, you may not understand the detours, but understanding is not required. Trust is, and trust grows strongest in the very moments when everything feels uncertain. That is when your angel whispers, "Do not fear the unknown, for the unknown is where the miracles live." Surrender is not weakness, it is strength of the highest kind. It takes courage to let go of control. It takes faith to stand in the middle of uncertainty without running back to the familiar. But every time you surrender, you discover that life provides in ways you could never have arranged on your own. The doors that open surprise you. The people who appear feel divinely timed. The opportunities that come are better than the ones you thought you lost. Surrender does not leave you empty-handed. It places into your hands what you were meant to carry all along. Your angel wants you to remember that there is a script already written for you, but it is not rigid. It is alive, dynamic, filled with choices and turns. The divine plan is not to control you, but to guide you toward what will awaken your soul. The more you cling to what is fading, the longer you delay what is waiting. But when you surrender, when you open your hands and release your grip, you give permission for something greater to enter. There will be moments when this feels impossible, when the fear of uncertainty outweighs your trust. In those moments, remind yourself of how many times in the past you thought you had lost everything, only to later discover that it was clearing space for something better. Remind yourself of how many times the detours brought you to places you never imagined, places that changed you forever. Remind yourself that your angel has never abandoned you, not once, not ever. And if you were carried through before, you will be carried through again. You are not asked to know everything. You are not asked to control everything. You are asked only to surrender, to trust that what is unfolding for you. And in that surrender, you will discover a peace that control could never give you. A peace that says, "I may not know what tomorrow holds, but I know I am guided." Surrender to the greater plan. There is a truth your guardian angel wants you to remember, and it is this: you are far more powerful than you give yourself credit for. Life has tried to convince you otherwise. Pain has whispered that you are weak. Disappointment has made you doubt your strength. Failure has told you that you are not enough, and yet look at you. You are still here. You are still breathing. You are still moving forward, even with scars on your heart and memories that sometimes weigh heavy. That in itself is proof of a strength most people never recognize within themselves. Think about what you have already survived. The nights you thought would never end. The losses that you were sure would break you completely. The moments you felt so small, so powerless, that you did not know how you would ever rise again. And yet, you did rise. Something within you refused to let go. That something is not just willpower. It is your soul, your light, the very essence of who you are. Your guardian angel has seen every tear, every fight, every quiet battle you endured when no one else was watching, and it wants you to know You are stronger than you realize. The world often teaches us to measure strength by how loud, bold, or outwardly unshaken someone appears. But true strength is quieter. True strength is waking up after a night of grief and deciding to keep going. True strength is forgiving when your heart wants to stay bitter. True strength is choosing hope when despair feels easier. True strength is not about never falling. It is about rising every single time you do. Your angel wants you to stop diminishing yourself. You have a light that cannot be extinguished. No matter how many storms you face, every trial has only refined that light, making it shine brighter. Every challenge has revealed resilience you did not know you had. You may think you are fragile because you feel deeply, because you have been hurt, because you sometimes bend under the weight of it all. But fragility and strength are not opposites. A tree bends in the wind, yet it does not break. And you too have bent, but you have not broken. There is a reservoir of power within you that you have only just begun to tap into. It shows itself in moments when you stand up for yourself after years of silence. It reveals itself when you finally choose to let go of what no longer serves you. It glows in the quiet moments when you believe, even faintly, that things can still change for the better. Your angel wants you to trust this inner strength, to know that it is not temporary, not conditional. It is who you are at your core. Yes, life will test you again. There will be storms ahead, as there always are. But remember, every storm you have ever walked through has left you with wisdom you carry into the next. You are not entering the future empty-handed. You are bringing every lesson, every ounce of resilience, every spark of courage you've gained along the way. That is why you do not need to fear what lies ahead. You already have what it takes to endure it. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is simply refuse to give up. That stubbornness, that refusal to surrender your soul, is itself divine power. Your angel has watched you choose life, again and again, even when despair tried to pull you under. And it wants you to know that the strength you carry is not ordinary, it is extraordinary. It is the kind of strength that will not only keep you standing, but will also inspire others to rise. Do not mistake your sensitivity, your compassion, or your tenderness as weakness. They are the greatest evidence of your strength. It takes immense courage to remain soft in a world that has tried to harden you. It takes immense courage to keep loving when you've been hurt. It takes immense courage to keep opening your heart to possibility when the past has given you every reason to close it. That courage is your power. Your guardian angel wants you to stop underestimating yourself. Stop looking at your scars as proof of weakness and start seeing them as proof of survival. Stop telling yourself you are not strong enough when your very life has been a testament to your strength. The light within you is greater than the darkness around you, and it always will be. You are more powerful than you realize. There is something your guardian angel wants you to hold close right now, the very thing you have been waiting for, praying for, and holding on to through all the storms is closer than you think. The seasons of delay, the nights of uncertainty, the years where nothing seemed to move, those were not wasted. They were the hidden preparation, shaping you quietly, building in you the strength and wisdom needed to hold the blessings that are about to arrive. What felt like silence was not absence. It was alignment. It was timing. It was life making sure that when your breakthrough arrived, you would be ready to carry it. So often, we imagine blessings as sudden miracles, dropping into our lives out of nowhere. But the truth is, blessings are built long before they appear. Every lesson you've endured, every moment of pain you survived, every step of the journey has been weaving itself together into this very moment. The tears you cried watered the ground where something new could grow. The struggles you endured cleared away the distractions that would have stolen your focus. The doors that closed redirected you toward the one that is about to open. Your angel wants you to know that nothing was wasted. Everything has been part of your preparation. You may not feel ready, but you are. The very fact that you have endured so much is proof that you have been forged into someone who can hold greater things than you once believed possible. At one time, you thought your breaking points defined you. Now you can see that they were shaping points. They carved out the space in you where new life, new love, new opportunities can enter. Your angel has been whispering all along, hold on, keep going. The time is coming, and now it is near. Breakthrough does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, a small shift that suddenly changes everything. One yes after 100 no's, one meeting after years of waiting, one moment of clarity after endless confusion. It can happen so subtly that at first, you don't even recognize that your life has begun to change. But when you look back, you realize that was the moment everything turned. Your angel has been arranging these turns, aligning pieces you could not see, preparing blessings that are about to reveal themselves. It is important now, more than ever, not to give in to despair, because the closer the breakthrough, the louder the doubts often become. Fear will whisper that nothing will change, that you are only fooling yourself, that life will always remain the same. But those whispers are not truth. They are the last resistance before the shift. Your angel wants you to know that just as the night is darkest before the dawn, your hardest trials often come just before the breakthrough. Do not mistake the weight you feel now as proof that nothing is working. It is proof that everything is about to shift. You have waited long enough. You have grown through fire, endured the silence, walked through seasons of loneliness, and questioned whether your prayers were ever heard. But every word you spoke into the silence was heard. Every tear you cried was seen. Every act of faith, even when it felt pointless, was noted. And now, those seeds are ready to bloom. The blessing is not just near, it is at the door. Your angel is urging you not to give up just as the miracle is about to unfold. Stay present, stay open, stay ready. When it arrives, it may not look exactly how you imagined, but it will carry the very essence of what your soul has been waiting for. It will feel like coming home to something you didn't even know you were missing. Hold on a little longer. What you have prayed for, fought for, and suffered for is already on its way. The breakthrough you thought would never come is nearer than you believe. The time of breakthrough is near,